Peace to everybody, back with another video. This is Hong Kong police arrest pro-democracy activists and biggest crackdown since protests began. And of course, this is the person that got arrested. And of course, he's a little butthurt right now because they got arrested. The novel virus pandemic had led to relative calm when it came to Hong Kong's pro-democracy, anti-government protests in recent months, but the city's police arrested at least 15 pro-democracy activists Saturday in connection with the mass demonstrations that took place throughout last year. Yes, so the novel virus pandemic has led the relative calm when it came to Hong Kong's pro-democracy, anti-government protests in recent months. So there were 15 people that got arrested for it. And of course, it took place throughout last year, all these protests, because the people in Hong Kong, they wanted their freedom. So now that they have their freedom, the pro-democracy activists, they were arrested for in connection with the mass demonstrations. So now I do, like I said, I do believe this guy is a little butthurt, which is good because he deserved it. Media tycoon Jimmy Lai and former legislators Martin Lee, Albert Hung, Leung Kwan-Hung, and Ah No-hin were among those arrested. Lee is reportedly considered the founding father of Hong Kong's democratic movement and helped write the city's basic law when it returned to Chinese rule in 1997. So the acclaimed founding father of Hong Kong say that he basically wrote the laws when it returned to Chinese rule in 1997. So how can he be the founding father if he's pro-democracy? I don't get it. But since he's claiming that it is, but now I find it hard to believe. So, and this is why the Hong Kong police arrested him. Their supporters said the arrests were meant to squash dissent since they came after Beijing authorities complained about the Democratic camp disrupting legislative proceedings, but Hong Kong's police chief denied that. The South China Morning Post report. Yeah, so the supporters, they're saying the arrests were meant to squash dissent since they came after Beijing's authorities complained about the Democratic camp. Now, I wouldn't be a bit surprised that China had something to do with the United States as well about disrupting the election as well. I wouldn't be surprised at that because the Democrats' awareness claiming that they are saying that no, we didn't do that, but you know what, the Democrats lie and everybody's falling for their trap. You're all asleep who are the Democratic Party. You can't even wake yourself up to find out what is going on. I found some videos on YouTube. You can go to my community tab and you can see them for yourself because you know there are going to be some indictments going on, so pretty much, and one of them used to be the Secretary of, no, she was the former Secretary of State, so you know who I'm talking about, and believe me, she is very evil. After Lee was arrested on bail later in the afternoon, he said he has no regrets about participating in the protests. So Lee was released on bail later in the afternoon. He also said he has no regrets about participating in the protests. Well, and he should be ashamed of himself for what he has done, really. Pierre Al Jaziri, the raids were the biggest crackdown on the movement since the anti-government protests began last June in light of a since abandoned extradition bill. And you can read more about it on the South Morning Post. So the raids were the biggest crackdown on the movement since the anti-government protests that began last June. In light of a since abandoned extradition bill. So Hong Kong was not pretty happy about what was going on because it's corrupt over there as well in Hong Kong. So this is why they protested, because they couldn't take it anymore with the anti-government protests, because the governments, they don't care about you at all. They just take your money and run with it. And I already found out something else, but I'll get to that some other time or whenever I can. But in the meantime, I feel sorry for Hong Kong because, these anti-government protests, they that started last June. Yes, they wanted all these bad people to go away and to leave them alone so they could live in peace. But instead, it had ended up turning out not too good that well. But then again, of course, it has been coming good after that. But then again, who knows what will happen next? Leave your comments below. I am out.